Hi, I'm Ray.
And I'm Saren.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks. Enjoy the show!
This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you are listening to the Capes and the Lunatic Sidekicks podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight.
But those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light.
Hello and welcome back to the 5th episode of Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil, joining me as always, Master of the Core, that's you, old man.
As Will, hey everyone.
And the rookie, it is.
Oh, this is Matt. This is Matt, the rookie. I got my ring. I don't know if I'm officially. I could have been given this designation by some clowns. I don't know how official it is, but I'm here. I'm ready to podcast about Green Lantern.
You've been chosen. You've got a ring, but now you got to go through some training, Poozer.
Yeah.
You gotta love the clowns.
Oh my lord!
We'll get there though, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm getting ahead of things.
All right, yeah. Before we get to the issues tonight, Green Lantern 9 through 12, a guy in his Gnort or Gnort, whatever, however you want to say it. So, Will, I see things are progressing nicely on the Kickstarter.
Oh, yes, indeed. We sent the files in on Monday, and I got the proofs back, and I'm about ready to tell them to fire up the presses, so that's cool.
Nice.
Comics will be this area that I'm in will become shipping central in a couple of weeks. So,
so cool. That's awesome. Congrats. I look
thanks.
forward to getting my issue.
It will be in the book is in the mail. No, sorry.
Is that you, Russell, from the new Tomes of Evil podcast? Yes, hello. I keep meaning to listen. Yeah, I guess he started. This guy Ray discovered. Yes, he's a new podcast where he focuses on like a different villain every episode.
Oh, cool.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember. Some chatter about that. Did we talk about that on the Ultimate Spider cast? Is that
I
it?
think so. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure Ray brought that up. Yeah. Because I think Ray did one of the first 3 episodes because Ray does every podcast on planet Earth. So
yeah. When's he going to be on ours? Again, sorry.
Let's do a GL. Let's do a Green Lantern villain on one show. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I mean, if you do Green Lantern, you probably got to do Sinestro, right?
He's kind of the one, right? But we get some good ones. You get like the crazed Superboy. When you get up to Volume 4 of Green Lantern, you get the Anti-Monitor becomes. They all kind of become part of the core. Mongol, yeah.
Sinestro is already taken. What?
Atrocitus, there you go.
Yes. We're a long way from that, but yes. You just do like Red Lanterns in general.
Or Larfleeze, he's kind of...
Oh, yes. The Orange Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, Greed?
Yep, Greed.
Oh, but I was going to mention some Green Lantern sightings this week. Infinite Frontier number 0.
Oh, cool.
Basically setting up everything to come for DC. Well, I think we already talked about this, but Alan Scott came out to his kids. And then there was just a quick few, like I said, there's a quick few pages of everybody just setting up everyone's stuff. But they had John Stewart and Simon Baz taking the new Teen Lantern to Oa, I guess, to meet the Guardians.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see. So I guess, I don't know if they're going to be more core based, but I guess how Jessica and Kyle. It says they're protecting the Crux world, so I don't know if they're going to be more solo. Kyle and Jessica Cruz.
Well, and we still have Far Sector going on too, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, at the end of that last Future State, she came in and was Leona Hal, so I don't know when they're going to... Maybe when her series ends, because I think she still has, 2 issues left, I think.
It's 12? Is it a 12-issue series? Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure, because 10 came out, a couple weeks ago. And we got, an evil version of Jon Stewart in Crime Syndicate #1.
Cool. Power Ring, is that what they called him?
I think so, yeah. I mean, again, you know how they always reboot this every couple years. But yeah, there's a big multiversal reboot. So yeah, this is once again a new Crime Syndicate. But yes, I guess because they were doing Ultraman's origin, and I guess he must have shown up in the 50s or 60s, because I guess in 1963 he killed Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
He was a kid, yeah.
Okay.
But just I mean, a lot of it's the same. I think Jon Stewart is Power Ring, and oh my lord, President of the United States is Oliver Queen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably no hard traveling heroes in that universe, right?
Oh yeah, and because everything's flopped in that universe. I guess the first president of the United States was Benedict Arnold. Because the town isn't Washington D.C. Because at the end they're that after the whole Oliver Queen scene, once it the Secret Service or something, it's man, nothing like this ever usually happens in Arnold.
Instead of Washington. Arnold DC. Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's gonna be fun. It's only a 6-issue limited series, so yeah, it
might be worth looking into.
Yeah,
cool.
It wasn't a big week for comics. I'm I gotta try. All right, so have you guys been reading anything new or different?
Black Cotton. I've been reading a lot of Scout comics of late, and Black Cotton #1 came out, which is pretty interesting. It reverses the racial roles, and you have an officer-involved shooting of an unarmed person. It's kind of cool. It's a grayscale book. It's done in black and white and grayscale. So, pretty good book.
Who writes that one? I heard it's pretty good.
Brian, hang on a second, and I can tell you. I've got it right up here. Is it Patrick Foreman, I think, and Brian Hawkins?
Okay.
The art is by, and I can't remember his first name, Perich. But I went ahead and I love this cover. It's one of the limited covers on the Scouts comic store, which was cool. I thought was pretty darn awesome. So I went ahead and picked it up.
It's very pulp looking.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's not really out, but in that order, I also got the kind of the White Ash presents Glarian, and Glarian is tearing it up on Kickstarter right now. It's a huge launch for Charlie Stickney, and I'm gonna completely jack up her name. His artist is Romina Morinelli, and she's doing some pretty amazing work on that. So that's pretty cool too.
Cool. Matt, you reading anything new?
I'm not. I just started checking out this comic writer and artist, Steve Niles. He's written some stuff. He did it kind of leans more towards the horror comics, but he did something called 30 Days of Night.
I've heard of it.
And he did. He was sort of he did a bunch of Spawn books and stuff like that. And I just started reading the new Stephen King book that came out the other day. So, that kept me busy so far. But and then all these Green Lantern comics. So nothing super new.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, well, The Flash season 7 premiered last night. Superman and Lois premiered last week.
Oh yeah, what do you guys think of Superman and Lois? I've really enjoyed it.
I liked it. Yeah, I just watched episode 2 right before we jumped on. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I have not seen it. Not seen it yet. It's on CW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Tuesdays at 9 after The Flash now. Yeah, the first week was extra long, but yeah, now it's like Tuesdays at 9. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's shot nice. I mean, it almost looks like movie quality. I mean, they put some money into this.
Yeah. I really like his Superman. I think they did a really good job on the costume, and then the actor does I think a really convincing Superman. He's a good Clark too. So
yeah. And I think, what was it yesterday? It might have been just yesterday. They already confirmed it for season 2. They renewed it, so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, they renewed some of those. Like, yeah, Flash just started season 7 last night. They already gave it a season 8, so.
Wow, that's interesting. Very cool.
I know. And I know this is a DC show, but everyone caught up on WandaVision?
I have not. I had a busy weekend, so I have not seen the most recent one. So I haven't been super vigilant about avoiding it, but I have scrolled past a few things where people usually speak their thoughts about it right away. So
I was going to say,
yeah, I was gonna recommend that you avoid this thing called the internet. Probably,
yeah.
I should watch it.
Yes, the internet seems to like the WandaVision. Yes, but I was going to say, binge it this weekend because the finale's this weekend. So.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll do a double feature if I can hold. Nah, I'll probably try to watch it tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, and then I guess the week after we get Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Nah, I think we get at least a week breaks. I think it starts the 19th or whatever that Friday is. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we get like 1 week break in the middle there. I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this thing's going to end on a cliffhanger because I know they said it's going to go. I think they confirmed you're going to see Wanda next in Doctor Strange too. So.
Yeah, the multiverse of madness, right?
Yes, which doesn't hit till 2022. So.
Oh man. Yeah.
Although they did announce the next Spider-Man movie is coming in December.
Oh yeah, is it No Way Home? Is that the title of it?
No Way Home. Yeah. So I wonder if he's going to be stuck in the multiverse.
Aren't we all stuck in the multiverse? Sorry. Yeah.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. Come on. And Disney, I'm sorry for all the Marvel talk, but Disney, can you please just announce that Black Widow is going to be, streaming the same day it's in theaters? Come on.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen. First weekend in May. Come on.
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, I read, it looks like San Diego Comic-Con is kind of canceled, but maybe something for November, but that may or may not happen.
Yeah.
I think I saw that on Twitter, but I'm not sure if that's accurate.
Yeah, it's probably going to be mostly or all virtual again, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people get sick on a regular year going to that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Or unless they just move it to Texas.
Or Florida.
Well, no,
if Hellfire can moderate.
I was going to say Texas lifted all their mask requirements.
Yeah.
Did Florida didn't? I knew that they're both reopened, but I didn't know the extent of the everything is fine-ism going on. I don't know, but I'm willing to bet not everyone was keeping super strict to the mask thing down there anyway. But yeah. A little premature.
Yep.
I mean, we're recording in advance, so everything could be fine by the time you're listening to this. Probably not. Probably.
Could be.
Yeah.
It's all sunshine and rainbows in 2 weeks.
And unicorns.
You get them down in Arkansas, unicorns?
That's right. It's a cow with one horn. No, sorry.
Unicorn pie. All right, so should we get to these issues?
Well, let's do it.
All right, so yes, Green Lanterns 9 through 12. A guy in his, I say Gnort. You know what? I don't care if people say the G is silent.
Gnort is funny, more fun to say.
It is.
And it's a made-up word. Don't put a silent letter in a made-up word. Come on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's just go with Gnort. We're establishing it. That is the norm now.
Suck it, internet.
Suck it, Kona.
But yeah.
I prefer Gakona from now on.
Kakona?
Gakona.
Oh, Gakona.
Go.
Watch your Harry like Gnort. But yeah, from February through May 91. All right, so let's see. Issue 9, The Two and Only. Of course, the controversial Gerard Jones writing, Joe Staton pencils, which I think going forward for at least the next year or so of books, like he becomes like Guy Gardner's penciler in this book. Yeah,
and he has an interesting kind of, on the spectrum, more of a cartoony style.
Yeah.
Kind of a little more exaggerated, almost into caricature sometimes. I mean, he's a really good artist and knows how to tell a story. But yeah, I think he's the artist on that 3-issue series that Guy gets, isn't he? And then the Guy Gardner series, when it debuts, is an ongoing, if I remember right.
Yeah. All right. I collected the first 16 issues of Guy Gardner because DC Universe. Well, it's weird. It's it starts at 9, but then 15 and 16 aren't on there. So between DC Universe and now my paper copies, I have access to every Guy Gardner. So if I'm at work, that's why. I've been reading since I'm a kid. You've warped my brain.
That's right.
So yeah, issue 9, The Two and Only. Guy Gardner fully assumes that the Guardians of the Universe will choose Hal Jordan to be the Green Lantern of Sector 2814, leaving him to recruit new members for the Green Lantern Corps and John Stewart to look after Oa. Again, it's can you see Guy in any of those positions?
No.
Here, make a first impression on some aliens. Guy's jealousy and hot-headedness caused the three Lanterns to argue among themselves until the Guardians interrupt. Surprisingly, the Guardians select Hal as the recruiter, noting his experience and knowledge of the Corps requirements. They indicate that he may have a future leadership role. That did not age well.
No. Ish.
Not for 1994. Stewart is selected to look after Oa, as expected. This leaves Guy as the sole remaining Green Lantern of Earth, and he is ecstatic. Again, didn't they even say it's Guy Gardner, he can't be trusted out there, and it's Guy Gardner has ties to the Earth's Justice League.
Yeah, but everybody hates him.
I know. I was waiting for the Justice League to be like, no, that's okay. That's okay.
It's a mere detail.
Minor detail.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when he returns to the Justice League headquarters in New York City, none of the other heroes believe that he's the new Green Lantern of Earth. Feeling somewhat defeated, Guy confides in Kilowog. Kilowog reminds him that it's the people who matter, not the heroes. So Guy sets out in search of some people to save. After several destructive and showy saves, Guy hears someone address him as a fellow Green Lantern. Impossible, since he, Hal, and John are supposed to be the only ones left. It turns out to be Gnort, self-described Green Lantern at large. Gnort claims he got his ring from the Guardians because his uncle has pull with them. Guy dismisses him and looks for a new challenge. Guy uses his ring to save a tropical island from destruction by diverting the lava flow of a volcano. But as he stands around accepting their praise, Gnort uses his ring to plug up the volcano, and the building pressure results in a violent eruption. Guy is enraged and decides to contact the Guardians to see what the deal was with Gnort. A Guardian appears but seems to have no knowledge of Gnort and notes that the Guardians had withdrawn with the Zamorons long before Gnort claims to have received his ring. Still, the ring Gnort bears is legitimate, and Guy and Gnort leave Earth on a quest to discover who would be stupid enough to give him a ring. So thoughts on this one?
After the road back, I think that
a much different tone.
This is just straight up comedy, and I don't know. I feel like it took kind of some of the steam out of the series, because they were building up to this being, Green Lantern, the book, and then we get, a really good ending to the road back, and then we get 4 issues of Guy Gardner being, his jerky self, along with the comedy stylings of Gnort and Gnort, his uncle, right?
Yeah. At this point, I don't know if that helped or hurt the book, because I guess they tried to focus on all three of them, because, like, you know, this one's a Guy arc, and then we get, like, a one-off next issue, and then we get a John Stewart arc. Yeah. Then there's, like, one or two one-done-dones, and then after, you know, starting with, like, 20, we get, like, that. Well, they all show pretty much eventually, but it's like a Hal arc, yeah.
And I don't know, does that... I kind of feel like that maybe damaged the readership a little bit, just because you never knew who you were going to get, right? And, you know, I understand you're trying to focus on the different Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
But it was really almost kind of like an anthology book almost. You know, you got Guy and then Hal and then John and then, you know, mix it up.
I think they were trying to please everybody, but it's like, you know, if you're not a Guy Gardner fan, you know, you might be like, oh, man, come on.
The next 4 months are going to be really long for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really think they were pleasing Hal Jordan fans at all. I mean, in this, you just got a couple panels. And I do remember, you know, I told you guys that I read a couple of these issues before, and I clearly remember Guy Gardner, just as a kid, just really rubbing me the wrong way, and not just the boots and the haircut, as I've harped on before. But I mean, now I kind of respect it in terms of I think that bad guys in wrestling are funny. You know, this is kind of he's a bit of a heel, you know, by design. So I kind of read this with a grain of salt, but I definitely echo Will's point. It's a big time gear shift from the last storyline, and even though this one's kind of cool because you see it with the Justice League and everything, it gets weirder in the next couple issues, to the point where I could see how it would turn a lot of readers off.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Matt. Like, back in the day, Guy Gardner rubbed me the wrong way, but I'm getting a little more appreciation for him, especially after reading the series, his solo series for the first time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if this, you know, the rotating thing hurt the book, because that's why they said they did Emerald Twilight, because the sales weren't that good.
Yeah, but you know, I have to, as much as I really don't like Guy, especially as portrayed here. There is a scene in Rebirth where he just basically, you know, they basically bottled up Parallax, and he kisses the ring and says, "That's the way the Lanterns do it," because that's ultimately, you know, he's said, you know, he doesn't want to be a Lantern, but at his core, he's a Lantern, and I thought that was just an awesome. You know, we'll get there eventually, but that made me like him a lot more at that point.
At his core.
At his core.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
All right, so let's get to issue 10. Bring in the clowns.
Yeah.
Boy, that title really spoils things. Yeah. From March 1991, Guy and Gnort travel to the planet Gnort, where they hope that Gnort's uncle Gnooman.
Hello, Gnooman.
Will shed some light on the people claiming to be the guardians of the universe who are passing out Green Lantern rings. Probably just came in the mail, right?
Yeah.
Guy is disgusted to find a planet of creatures who seem nearly as stupid as Gnort. When they arrive at Gnooman Gnog's home. Oh my lord. Guy is frustrated to discover that he has been using his ring for his own benefit. Unfortunately, Gnooman isn't very forthcoming and claims he's forgotten who the guardians he got his ring from were. Meanwhile, he covertly alerts the Weaponers of Quord to Guy's presence. Guy manages to coerce a mental image of the people from whom Gnooman and Gnort got their rings and seeks out Hal Jordan to identify them. Hal isn't too happy to see Guy, well, who is? But he reluctantly agrees to help. He identifies the false guardians as the Pagliacci, yes. It gives Guy the coordinates to their base planet in Sector 3273. Before he leaves, Guy suggests that Hal begin recruiting for the Green Lantern Corps by visiting former members by, like, Aricia. I don't know if I'd go there.
Boom.
When Guy and Gnort approach the Pagliacci homeworld, the Guardians chase them down and attack. However, they are expecting to fight Hal Jordan, I love this, whose habits they have been familiarized with. They anticipate that the Green Lantern will fake a direct attack and stand their ground, only to be bowled over by Guy, whose direct approach serves him well in this instance. When he corners them, though, they are killed by something called the Red Heat.
I don't think it kills it. It just it punishes him, doesn't it? Because I think he's alive at either at the end of this issue or the next issue.
When Guy sets foot on the planet, he is soon surrounded by a number of creatures who look like circus clowns and claim to be the Guardians of the Universe. The Pagliaccians. Pagliaccians. All right, issue 10.
Deceptive cover. You never see Guy Gardner
In a hot tub with some...
in a hot tub with the dog babes. I guess.
Yeah.
You know, get babes.
Don't act like you never drank in a hot tub, Matt Conan woke up next to a couple of dogs. Come on.
Well, you know. I do love the Christmas ornaments or style of the decorations that are all around. And
oh yeah, weren't they green steaks that were just
green steaks? Yeah, and then the green fire hydrants.
Yeah.
Just a line of them. There was some legitimately, and I love Guy Gardner being referred to as an assistant Green Lantern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was funny. I don't know if I, as a person who is a Green Lantern fan, if I just picked this up, looking for my Hal Jordan fix, and you know, maybe you'd rather see him doing yard work on a farm, but you know, and then you know, it introduces some Birdman-esque looking villains who were also wondering where Hal Jordan is and assuming that they will find him. I love the outbursts of Guy Gardner, and it's very comic in nature, the things that he creates to send Gnort away, and being kind of buttering up to Hal, trying to get around the fact that he's made or he needs his help. He doesn't want to admit to it, and kind of presents it in a different way. And you see Gnort stuck outside, whimpering in the window like a dog waiting to come in. You know, so.
But yes, the weaponers of the antimatter universe of Quard, they're the ones who created Sinestro's yellow ring that Guy Gardner eventually gets.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But Will, I'm trying to remember. I don't think they did a lot of it at this point, but couldn't Guy Gardner have asked that ring to like identify those aliens?
Probably. But remember, his approach is the direct approach, not
yeah, he doesn't go from the side. You just like
I said, I do love that scene where they're like, "Oh yeah, well, Hal Jordan would just like fake a direct attack." Wait a minute, that's not Hal Jordan.
I don't think whack.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like if you read that first 8 issues and you're like, "Man, I love this," and then you get this, it's like, what the? Yes, very different tone.
Very different.
All right, let's see. Millions are all hanging on the edge of your clown cars there. Let's see.
And actually, that when they drive up to Guy and they get out of a clown car.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some pretty good comedy in this. I mean,
Oh yeah, for what it is, yeah. I mean, it's kind of humorous. All right, so issue 11 from April 1991. Fools rush in. The Weaponers of Quartz, spared from their punishment at failing to stop Guy Gardner, regroup and increase their efforts to carry out their master's plan to humiliate the Green Lantern Corps. Guy is confronted by the Pagliaccis, a race of beings who look like circus clowns. Pagliacci's claim to be the real guardians of the universe and that they have been giving Green Lantern rings out for the sole purpose of having fun. When Guy becomes frustrated and decides to take them to the actual Guardians for judgment, he's attacked by a group of clumsy ring welders claiming to be the real Corps. As Guy fights them, the Pagliacci's try to convince Gnort to take up the fake Corps for Guy's own good. Gnort's inner struggle eventually finds him siding with Guy no matter how wrong. Unfortunately, Gnort's intervention causes an energy beam to bounce off of some funhouse mirrors below and hit Guy, knocking him unconscious. Guy wakes up to find that he and Gnort are trapped in restraints that counteract ring powers by using anti-Owen ring power. They are soon visited by their captors, the Quardians, who have brought them to Quard in the antimatter universe. They interrogate Guy, hoping to find out where Hal Jordan is. They torture him, but he doesn't comply, and when he seems unconcerned, when they threaten to torture Gnort, they simply give up and take them to the Master. At first, the Master appears to be a resurrected Sinestro, but when there seem to be numerous Sinestros around, they are surprised to see a giant Sinestro welcoming them. So, issue 11.
Yeah.
So, the cult of Sinestro.
Yeah, I was just catching up on kind of Sinestro's appearances. It looks like he...
I mean, technically, wasn't he kind of supposed to be dead at this point? I mean, we really don't see the Guardians pull him out of the battery in, 50? And, the battle how?
Oh, yeah. And then he... looks like he inhabits the yellow ring that Guy gets in a little bit.
Ew. I know,
but Guy only wears that ring for a short time before, Parallax destroys it. So
yeah, it's probably like 16, 17 issues. Yeah. But yes, this Green Lantern Corps, we will see at least I think 2 of them in the Guy Gardner series. Those twins, the one who just like always fight.
Brick and Brack or Brick and Brock or something like that.
Yeah, look up. Oh no, Thoom and Boom. Yeah, they show up in the Guy Gardner book. They get hired to take out Guy. Oh look, get a splash page.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what did you think, Matt?
This one, I did like what I saw of Sinestro before, so this is a little bit kind of jarring. I don't know, a little different for me. So I wasn't feeling this one as much as the couple before this. I don't know. Sinestro, it just having a bunch of them seemed like a good idea, but it didn't really. He didn't have the same effect as I had been introduced to, I guess.
Yeah, and from my point of view, Sinestro is... Lots of people are afraid of him, okay? He is... he's scary, he's smart, and in my mind, it's good that he didn't show up in this issue, because I think to have him in this issue that's comedy would kind of take away from his stature as... the guy, right? That everybody's kind of like, I'd just rather not mess with him in general. So
we've already got a Guy in this issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this cult was kind of weird. I mean, it's all played for comedy in this. So,
oh yeah, I mean, you get that shock value at the end. Oh, giant Sinestro.
Yeah.
And again, technically, he's kind of supposed to be dead, or at least locked up in that battery. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nothing good comes from that antimatter universe. I mean, the Cordians, the Anti-Monitor.
Mm-hmm. And we get, so when Hal entered, so Hal at this point is infected by Parallax because he got infected while Sinestro was in the battery at the end of Green Lantern Corps. Was that 224?
Yeah.
4? So which explains the white hair, right? The white temples.
Oh yeah, Jeff Johns was going to retcon that. Yeah, that's why he got the white hair. Because
Mm-hmm.
That's why reading through these now, I'm just like, I'm trying to see, any bad decision. I guess we can blame on Parallax now.
Yeah, exactly. Action Comics Weekly. Sorry.
Oh,
Excuse me.
True. Again, keep going back to it. But how smart can Parallax be? Couldn't break out of a yellow safe.
Yeah, exactly. Man, those yellow lamps are hardcore.
But no, that's interesting because, like, when Hal finds out, I mean, they never mention it ever again. But when Hal found out the ring took away his fear, and he's like, "Give me back fear," I mean, you could just hear Parallax going, "Yes."
Right.
That's my boy. All right, so let's get to 12.
Real intense cover for 12.
I know, Gnort Unleashed.
Bloodshot eyes, looks very different than this bumbling buffoon that's been in the last 3 issues. I don't know if he's ever I don't know if he ever really lives up to the look of the cover, but he does something.
Doesn't he show up in the post Emerald Twilight at some point? And potentially even in the Jeff Johns era? I'd have to look. I'll look while we're
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember much. I don't know if they're big. I know at this, after this, he shows up in Justice League when, Guy's there, but. All right, so issue 12, The Master Plan. That's not funny. From May 1991. Guy Gardner finds himself surrounded by a number of people who share their appearance with Sinestro. When he remembers that Sinestro is supposed to be dead, they remove their masks and reveal that they are members of a Kwardian cult that worships the Renegade Lantern. They worship a giant fire-breathing idol of Sinestro, which is the source of their anti-Owen power. When Guy refuses to divulge the location of Hal Jordan, even under torture, the Kwardians bring out Gnort's uncle, Gnumen, and threaten to kill him if Gnort doesn't tell where Hal is. Gnumen explains that the Weaponers of Kord had used he and Gnort as a part of a scheme to discredit the Green Lantern Corps by giving rings to idiots. Even so, Gnort can't bring himself to see his uncle killed, and he gives Hal's location away, despite Guy's protests. The Weaponers set off in search of Hal, leaving Guy and Gnort trapped in restraints. Because the restraints are powered by anti-Owen energy, Guy can't use his Green Lantern ring without being zapped. While trapped, Guy inadvertently comes to understand how to free himself. Using his energy ring against the restraints will zap him, but eventually the zaps will deplete the energy source holding him back. Despite the pain of the zaps, Guy frees himself and Gnort and then head back to the cult's chambers. Guy uses a projection of Hal to distract the Weaponers and attacks them. Gnort, left without his power ring, catches the scent of the Weaponer who took it and hunts him down as Guy flies straight into the cult's base. Unfortunately, though, Guy's attack is valiant. He is subdued by the giant Sinestro robot's yellow flame. When Gnort confronts his target, he seems to be at a disadvantage until his loyalty to Guy gives him the courage to attack without powers. Gnort aims his ring at the robot, knowing that destroying it will remove his powers and sacrificing them for the greater good. Then together, he and Guy fight without their powers to the transporter that will take them back to the positive matter universe. They escape just as the chamber explodes. Meanwhile, Hal receives a message from Guy just in time to warn him of the Weaponers' attack, and he surprises them by getting backup from his most recent recruits for the Corps.
Mm-hmm.
The transporter drops Guy and Gnort back in Sector 3273, the planet of the Pagliaccis. There, the fake Green Lantern Corps are waiting to fight, but when they realize they don't have power rings anymore, Guy's lenient with them and leaves them to their stupidity. Gnort is depressed that he has lost his power, but Guy, having taken a liking to the dog despite himself, suggests that he might put in a good word with the real Green Lantern Corps.
Okay, so I have Gnort here. Yes. It looks like his planet he was living in Guy Gardner's bar for a while, so he shows up in the Guy Gardner series. In the Green Lantern Sinestro Corps Secret Files and Origins, he's listed as presumed dead, but Jeff Johns said he was just missing. And then he shows up in the New 52 at the end of the events of Wrath of the First Lantern and helps against the Red Lanterns, looks like. And then he becomes The Rinks mutually determine that Larfleeze and Gnort are cousins, and Gnort becomes Larfleeze's sidekick.
Are they even the same species? They're cousins?
I don't know. I don't remember. We'll get there eventually,
yeah,
I guess.
Get there. It's been a while. I probably haven't read those since they were new, yeah. But yeah, we see some of Hal's new recruits in this.
Now, one of them is... Okay, so that's Chassalon is the crystal one.
Let's see. It might even be mentioned on this page. Let me see.
And the other one, he's more of a plant-looking one. He shows up quite a bit, I think, in this series, and then, even after Rebirth, I think he shows up quite a bit.
Yeah, it's Chassalon, Brick, and Larvox.
Cool. So yeah, they become kind of long-time core members, which is cool.
Oh yeah, this is Brick's first appearance.
Awesome.
And another female of indeterminate species falls in love with Hal Jordan.
Wait, is that every issue? I'm sorry.
I mean, for the longest time, I mean, Hal Jordan was like the Captain Kirk of this thing,
That's right.
All right, Maddie, what did you think of the wrap up here?
I thought it was an improvement on the last issue. I guess I like the comic moment where Guy Gardner is like, if Hal Jordan was here, he would think of a way to do this by doing this, and Gnort kind of deadpans. Yeah, you just did it, and so it works his way out like that, and
I would assume they do that for comedic value, but it almost smacks of me of like, hey, that's kind of like, well, the guy was before all the brain damage.
Yeah, and I liked seeing the new cast because Hal hasn't just been sitting in this room waiting to give advice to Guy Gardner when he shows up. He's been doing the work. He's been scouring the galaxy. I know he was off kind of on a mission when there was supposed to be a siege on it earlier, and I don't know if it had to be a 4-issue arc, but it was. I could have used more Gnort face licking because it gets referred to in a funny panel at the end, but you don't actually see any of it. No,
but yeah, like Hal's like out there like trying to recruit like different kinds of Green Lanterns, and I think like issue 22 or 23, the whole Star Sapphire thing. He's like, man, I've recruited enough thinkers. I need some brawlers.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when it starts getting nuts.
Well, and I guess we'll get to it, but the fact that the Guardians actually give Gnort a ring is just, insane. But they do. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of that, too, was even like, I think he kind of tempers Guy Gardner a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Just a little.
Just a little. All right. So, letter grades. What would you guys give this arc as a whole?
I don't know, C+, maybe.
Yeah, I think Matt's.
I think Matt's on the money.
Matt's on to something there. I think that's
Wow.
I think
in the past when I've gotten C+, I don't get a lot of positive reinforcement from it. So
good job.
I mean, again, if you were here for the tone of the first 8 issues, this was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
But I mean, it holds together under its own internal consistency pretty well, and it's it's funny. It's really
there's
funny.
moments. Yeah.
But as a Green Lantern reader, it's certainly not kind of what I'm looking for in Green Lantern. And not just saying that as a fan of Hal Jordan, but also a fan of John Stewart and eventually Kyle and the rest of the core. But it's just not. It's totally too out there, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I think we're all agreed on this C+. So. Mm-hmm. Oh, but next week, 1 issue, Green Lantern 13. So you know what that means? 1 issue. Back to the live reads, kids. Yeah.
Nice. less homework.
That's right.
And I believe Matt Kona already called Guy Gardner. So
I think that makes perfect sense. I can just hear. I can hear Matt doing that voice now.
Yeah.
And then in 2 weeks, Green Lantern 14 through 17, the setup for the Mosaic. So yes, Kona's going to get his Streisand.
Oh boy, John Stewart's going to be psyched.
We may have to have some special background music, right?
I was going to say, if it wasn't copyrighted the whole time, there'd be Streisand music in the background.
So let's see. That 2 weeks gets us up to 17. We're probably a month or two out. Well, 17, 20 more issues. We're probably 2 months out from Emerald Twilight then?
I mean, we have a while to go. I don't have Emerald Twilight will be episode 34. We're on episode 5. So yeah, I mean, because again, once Guy Gardner starts, we're going to mix some Guy Gardner in there.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm. And then remember, there's like a Trinity crossover in there.
Somewhere.
And the Mosaic issues once that series starts. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and those. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I haven't read those since they originally came out, so I'm excited to be revisiting those.
Yeah, but yeah, next week will be a live read, and then it'll be a while. But then once we get Green Lantern 25 as an episode by itself, that's a live read, and then the episode after that will be Ganthet's Tale. So.
Oh, sweet! That's a good one. I haven't read that in a long time either, so that's
a whole episode dedicated to that. So that could be another live read.
Mm-hmm. Some awesome John Byrne art on it too.
Oh yeah, love John Byrne art. So yeah, lots of good stuff coming up, kiddies. All right. So, any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds. As someone who's going in this as a rookie, a rookie, if you please. Yeah, and I mean, I like comedy, and I like Guy Gardner being a jerk, and we'll see if they could steer more towards. I know that the next issue is double size, right, with the 3 Green Lanterns. So to see how they coexist together as a trio. Again, I mean, we saw a little bit with John Stewart having to be rescued mostly, but I'm sort of looking forward to seeing how the balance occurs.
Isn't there is it 18? Isn't there like a anniversary issue coming up?
No, 18's like a Guy solo story. 19 is the anniversary
19, okay.
Yeah, the whole John Stewart thing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're doing both of those in one episode, so yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so yeah, like Matt said, Green Lantern 13 was double size, so it was a whole $1.75.
Bam! Wow.
Those were the days.
Oh, 91. Jeez. Does anyone else remember? I think it was the first George Bush to put like the paper tax on, because before that they weren't even taxed. It was like, so if they were $1, it was a straight dollar. There wasn't even tax on it for a while.
I don't remember. I know it couldn't have been the first George W. because I read his lips. No new taxes. that would count. So,
you know, as a reader, when I was very, very, very young, I remember I could get 4 comics for $1.20. Yeah. And then they went up to 40 cents, and suddenly I could only get 3. Inflation, man, inflation.
Yeah, my era when I started, it was kind of like going from 75 cents to the dollar, making the jump to the dollar. Yeah, that's around the time I started.
And you know, it took them a long time to make those first few jumps, but then it's just like jumping almost every year. It seemed like just getting more and more and more and more expensive.
Oh yeah, I think once we hit $2, it started jumping pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious how many pages a double-sized issue would be nowadays. 22 pages.
Yeah, that's ouch. I was a little bit
pages.
I was a little bit shocked to see that like standard story length now from Marvel is like 20 pages, because I always thought 22 pages is the standard length, and then a double-sized issue would be like one of those 52-page giants. Or you remember the old 100-page giants from DC, which were these ginormous things full of comics, right?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if
DC's kind of gotten back to that, right? I got a couple 100-page giants randomly, like the Swamp Thing and a Batman one.
Yeah, they were doing those at Walmart, I think, and I think they're doing them at Target now too, which is pretty cool when you think about it, because they get those stories out there to a lot more eyeballs. Yeah,
hopefully some new readers that way.
Well, I think
and places that don't have comic shops or aren't privy enough to buy online.
Yeah, well, that's like Batman that came out. Well, I was gonna say today, but yesterday. I mean, it was a little longer, but they're charging $4.99 because you got the regular story, and then they put like a Damian backup in it. So,
oh, we've had issues with backup stories. I mean, you look at the Avengers Crossing line, the Captain America, that we were going through. Yeah.
Oh, but I was going to say, some of the Marvel books, I wonder if they try to cheat, because some of them, still do letter columns. Like Matt Conan, when was that? Like a year or two ago, you got Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah. But still riding high.
Because like a few weeks, what was it? I don't think it was last week. A few weeks ago, whenever the last Spider-Woman issue came out, our good friend Ray was got a letter printed in Spider-Woman.
Oh, well, that's awesome! Congrats, Ray.
Didn't see that. Yeah.
It was just a really nice package.
So that's what I told him. I said, "Man, I gotta start writing into these books, man."
You gotta.
So I think he said,
absolutely.
So I think he said, I don't know if he wrote one to Spider-Man too, but it didn't go through. I was like, yeah, well, Spider-Man, everyone's probably writing Spider-Man.
Yeah, a lot of traffic for that.
And not exactly everybody does a podcast for Spider-Man, but Spider-Woman, there you go. The Spider-Woman podcast.
That's true, the Spider-Woman podcast. Yeah, but I don't know if he even mentioned it in the letter. I'm like, man, if my letter ever gets through, there's going to be Capes and Lunatics all over that.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, it is I, Phil Perich from the Capes and Lunatics podcast. I just writing in. I wanted to discuss this newest issue of Green Lantern that we will discuss on our show, Sector 2814.
That's right.
On the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
Would it be funny to just write in with your thoughts on Green Lantern issue 11 from 1990?
I would not steal your shtick, Kona.
That'd be good.
No, I forget the one. I forget what we were talking about, but Lilith and I were recording the one day, and she's like, was it this one? And I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, good. I don't want to pull Kona.
Yeah, not the 1960s version.
Suck it, Kona.
All right. So yes. So next time, yes, return of our live reads that we used to do in the Quantum Zone for Green Lantern 13. So get your issue and read along, kids. And then in 2 weeks,
get your ring and read along.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then in 2 weeks we get that Mosaic setup arc. Get your see, kids, you can listen to the podcast, listen to Streisand in the background.
Yeah. Sync it up.
Oh my god. So the week after next, Kona's going to just be listening to Streisand the whole week.
Prepping. Getting in character.
Don't doubt me.
No, for 13, I'm John Stewart because Kona picked Guy Gardner, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Of course we're going to give you Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
He's my guy. He's my guy.
Yeah.
All right, kids. So send your thoughts for all those. Email capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Sector 2814, the Green Lantern Podcast, on Facebook, Twitter. You can find links to all of the social media for all of our various shows. Links to this YouTube channel. You can watch it. You can watch us. Our pretty faces. Myself, Will, Kakona down there.
Comedy gold.
Gold. Links to the Patreon. Oh, Patreon. That's right. If anyone wants to join us, I don't know when we're doing it. Sometime this month, I think. Lilith and I are going to do the first episode of Boob Windows and Log Boxes, and we're going to talk about some of how Jordan's not so great moments. The Orisia's coming up.
Of course.
All right, so yes, links to the Patreon, links to merchandise, links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio and Hunt a Killer. Use the code Southgate for both of those for discounts. And then go pick up Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn all about podcasting. Hey, I'm in there. But you can get that on Amazon, and when you do, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that strange idol in the antimatter universe of Cord, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Please kick me in the pants. Mark my words.
All right, Gakona, where can people find you?
You can find me. I might have to switch my handle, but at Matt Kona. right now, there's no G in it, but who knows? The night is young, and that's on Instagram, where you can watch me post daily stories of my dog running around being silly at the dog park, and occasionally pictures and things like that. But that's all I'm really doing right now.
That's gonna be
getting ready to have a baby. I'm just getting my head's wrapped around that concept still.
Suck it, Lilith.
See you later, bunkies.
I'm just waiting for the conversation with Lilith or anyone else. Why is there a G in front of Kona's name? Because he thinks he's a dog.
yeah, I'm a dog.
A Green Lantern dog.
Yeah,
he's chasing cars. Don't ask me.
Yeah. Oh man, we didn't talk about the epic game of fetch that happened too.
Oh yeah.
These recaps really leave out a lot of the silliness.
Even the recap person was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Jason Red Ball. Yeah.
Speaking of a man and his dog, Will Allred, master of the core, where can people find you?
Woo, wait, there's my dog. You can find me at Wallred, at WALLRED, on Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and probably Instagram, although I don't know that I actually go there very often. You can also find some of my self-published work at diaryofnight.com, which is with art by Gene Gonzalez and letters by Rasputin. You can also find Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com, which will be printed soon and shipping out to all the Kickstarter backers. So I'm happy about that. And then you can always find all kinds of really cool stuff about Quasar at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
I'll put it in my navel.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
All right, kitties. Oh, live read next week. Might get some new Green Lantern drops next time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to reread that yet again. Just to see. Okay, what's going to get to say as Gardner?
Scout it out. I'm going to probably be referring to people as dames. It's going to be great.
This dog. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm having fun with this Green Lantern stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's reminding me how much I love Green Lantern, which is cool. Warts and all, right?
Even the Guy Gardner. That's right.
Even the Guy Gardner stuff.
All right, kids, go walk the dog and join us next time.
Hi, I'm one of the High Priests of Khonshu Ray, and I have the sacred privilege of providing you, the loony listener, with a podcast honouring Marvel's very own Moon Knight. So join me and a host of others at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or support the show by becoming a Patreon member. Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. It's time to get your Khonshu on.